Hey everybody. So I finally pulled the trigger on the legendary Valentine 1 after hearing people pretty much swear by it and watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I was watching a bunch of videos by Vortex. If you get a chance, check him out. He will go into brilliant detail and unbelievable depth about these radars, more than I can ever give you. This is more of like a novice review, if you will. What I'm going to try to do in this review is provide some comparison, maybe some close-ups, and I'm not someone who's very heavily into radar, so maybe this takeaway can be beneficial to you. But remember, I'm not an expert, and take what I say with a grain of salt. I got the V1 and the concealed display. Took them a pretty long time to ship it, but I finally got it. Ordered it on Thursday and received it Tuesday. One of the things that becomes evident as you take the Valentine 1 out of the box is how well it's made. It feels incredibly well made. It has magnesium housing. Everything is rock solid. You will have a hard time to find anything wrong or loose or not to your standards. It's really just built like a tank, and it's lighter than I expected it to be. It's about the size of my palm, but it does take up a good footprint, especially in the windshield. We'll get to that later. You get a lot of nice accessories. That's one of the benefits of buying Valentine. You receive with the Valentine 1 a hardwire package to hook it up to your car, a visor mount, extra suction cups, and 2 power cables. The concealed display comes in its nice own little box with protective padding. The back is actually carved out so it can fit onto the lighter adapter. And they also provide a little insert, which I'm holding now, which you can put in there to make it flat, so you can tape it to your, or Velcro it to your dashboard for that matter. Now diving into the Valentine 1 itself, you'll see a couple different things. You have your main display with directional arrows, your 4 bands, laser, KA, K, and X. You have your mute and volume buttons, which act as power, and a front antenna and a rear antenna, and the display has a matte finish and everything is finished very nicely. There wasn't a single fingerprint on this when I received it. Suction cups are super good quality. They seem a little flimsy at first, but they just do a fantastic job of sticking the first time you put it on the windshield. The magnesium coating is cool to the touch and feels just like metal. If you could hear, it has a coarse outside. Additionally, the concealed display is plastic and has all the information you'd want that's on your Valentine 1. And instead of your volume knob, you get a mute key, and that can also change modes. Now, this is going to sound a little weird, but the cord that it comes with might just be the best part of the package. It's a little bit bigger than a phone jack and smaller than an Ethernet cable, but the real nice part is the braided line. The corded line, it's just super springy and very high quality, and I just kind of like playing with it, to be honest. Very, very nice touch. I don't know how Valentine managed to do it. Alright, so I set up a little test here. We have the Passport 8500 and the V1 sitting idly by. And we're gonna see what happens when you are going towards radar and when you're going away, and where the 2 antennas come into play on a normal detector like the Passport and one like the V1. So we're gonna turn the V1 on. I'm running just K and KA on intelligent mode. And immediately we start picking up some K-band. We're in front of a Winn-Dixie. So now, sorry about the lighting, guys. Now if I was to turn the car around, should pick up it from the rear. And that's what you're seeing now. Alright, so K's going off like a dog right now. Now, it's on auto mute, so that's why I just got lower. But now if I was to turn around, the signal will just pretty much go dead. So after spending about a week with the Valentine 1, there's some good things and some bad things that I noticed. Let's start with the bad. At night, it became very apparent that I couldn't really tell what band was being displayed because the letters aren't lit up. So for instance, there's 4 options of bands show up: laser, KA, K, and X. I even turned X and laser off, but I still can't really tell between K and KA. And the audible alert is very similar or the same, so I just really don't know. That's important for me because I treat K a lot more serious than K band, since I have so many stores with sliding glass door openers that use K in the area. Another thing I noticed is that the volume knob is a little shaky, and if you don't have the concealed display to press the mute and you press mute, you kind of have to change your volume when you're muting this. Minor complaint. As far as the falses go, this comes with the latest software. I don't know which number it is, I'll put it in the bottom. It has the new Junk K fighter, which tries to fight weak K-band signals. The falses aren't that bad, but it depends what kind of falses you're getting. The blind spot monitoring has not been an issue for me. I know it's been an issue for a lot of people in the past, but I just went ahead and turned pop off, and with the Junk K fighter in the mix, I just don't get those. I have gotten laser from some of the HID headlights, and it'll be like 3 bars. So I turned laser off because if I'm getting lasered, I really just don't want to know. And if I'm getting lasered, the cop's probably like right in front of me. So that'll be a sucky day when you get lasered. The display is super bright, and the volume gets very loud. You won't have any problems hearing it. If we move on to the power and the concealed display, there's also some good and some bad. Concealed display is nice because it gives you the same readout as you would find on the Valentine 1, and actually even a little bit more information. They changed the wavelengths, which is weird. Instead of the volume knob, you get just a mute button, and this also lets you change modes. The concealed display is nice, and when you plug it in to your V1, it'll automatically go into dark mode. I did have the same issue with the display that I did have with the V1, is that I can't tell which band is going off at night because there's no light for KA or K or X. It's just a dot that goes on next to the letter, but the letter in the dark you can't see. The way it's set up is this mount goes on top of the power, and you can slide this on, and you can kind of angle it towards you. I'll put that on backwards. You can kind of angle it towards you while it's in the cigarette lighter. But I noticed that when I put this in my cigarette lighter, it hits, there's not enough room, this isn't long enough, and it bends this cable up. That's just my car, it might be different for yours. Also, the mute button isn't the highest quality of mute button. It's kind of, the press isn't even, and I'm not sure if I'm hitting it every time, so I usually hit it very hard just to make sure. Besides that, it's a pretty cool little system. After using the V1 for about a week, I can tell you that it is one impressive device, built very well, comes with nice accessories in the box with impressive range. And yes, the arrows are super badass, but also has some shortcomings in the display. It does not come with GPS like some of the other Escort offerings, and it's not exactly cheap either. I knew this wasn't your basic radar, and I think that's why I got it, but I'm beginning to think that I bought a little too much radar than I needed. If you just want a decent radar detector, I would take some time to consider purchasing one, but if you're willing to buy into the hype, the V1 will not disappoint. If you came to this video looking for information about range and how well it performs compared to other radars, I would definitely recommend checking out Vortex's channel. I didn't want to go into it too much into this video, mainly because I promise you there are people more qualified than I to talk about it. Additionally, if you're into cars or tech, you might want to hit the subscribe button.